All right, it's time to make this fit on this. This is my 2004 GMC Sierra. Now, the goal is with this truck is to get this 102 fast LSXR intake bolted onto it. So to start, we have a beautiful mock-up engine, and we've already went ahead and we've removed this standpipe. We've went ahead and we've removed this standpipe here to see if we can get the intake to clear. Now, unfortunately, this is the stock truck water pump, and the intake will clear the water pump, but the throttle body will not clear the water neck. As you can see here, the water pump outlet for the radiator hose will hit the throttle body, but the intake manifold does clear the water pump, like just barely. And it also clears the factory bolts for the valley plate. I probably wouldn't recommend using the factory bolts because you're supplied with new cap screw style bolts to replace them with. All right, and we've ran into our first obstacle. Water pump is in with the LS1 spacers. What this does is it puts this water pump in line with the belt. Now, that's the stock truck hose. Originally, it goes on like that. And if you flip it around, flip it like this, it looks like we can actually run the truck hose on this. Slip this on here. We're gonna have to cut about that much off of it to get it just away from the fan. If we cut off about an inch, inch and a half, this should pull this that way towards the water pump. And if you look here, this will straighten out. And I think we could just use the stock hose and cut it. I'll let you know here in just a sec. We were able to cut off probably 3 or 4 inches here and here. And we cleared alternator and the pulley, clear the water pump and the pulley, and we're not near anything. These connections are exactly the same. From here, went ahead and chopped off this whole bracket that held on the idler pulley, and I left this gusset in to support the alternator. Kind of notched it here and come up with it. In the next stages, we're going to pull out all of these fasteners and install the fasteners supplied by Fast. As you can see, we've got all the fasteners installed. They were torqued to 18 foot-pounds. And if you notice, a couple things have changed. The original water pump that we had installed was actually a Corvette water pump, and that was the wrong water pump. I ended up getting a 99-02 Pontiac Firebird Chevy Camaro water pump. This allows the right spacing of the water pump, even with the water pump spacers. The Corvette water pump was still sucked in too much, and the belt was just riding on the edge. We ran our new steam port lines, so instead of it going from teeing off on this side, it's going to tee off on this side to clear the intake manifold. Comes down, I'm going to get a P-clamp, bolt it to the head, goes right into the radiator. On the intake, please read your instructions. Every vehicle's different, but on my truck, I had the grommet style map sensor. So we drilled the hole with a 3/8 drill bit per the Fast instructions and installed a mounting screw to hold the sensor from popping back out. All right, so we've got our flex fuel harness made. Everything is from Evil Energy, those guys right there on Amazon, including the fuel line. It's got 2 180s. And the fuel line kit I bought comes with a bunch of male and female quick disconnects. So this is a female quick disconnect that goes into the 3/8 flared fitting. So essentially, that's going to go on the rail from the backside, thread into it, and then this is just going to plug into the original fuel line there. I need to make it a little bit shorter, but that's the concept. Next, I'll show you guys the flex fuel sensor harness that I made. If you're wondering where it is, it's there. And it's right there. We took 12 volts and ground from, what is this, cylinder 7 ignition coil. Everything's all done back here. Undid this whole harness. And we had cut into 2 spots, and we used the metal butt connectors. You really don't want to use solder in a high heat environment. So we use those butt connectors with heat shrink. And then we took the signal wire, comes up, loops back around into this pigtail I made. And from there, it will get plugged into this. This is going to get loomed into the engine harness. That gets plugged in. And then on this end is where we will pin it to the engine computer. Now, these are the pins for GM engine computers for this 411 PCM. And you'll need a different style of crimper. When I worked at BMW, we did a lot of E90 blower motor recalls, and I bought these crimpers to use the OEM crimps, which is this exact style, which was this exact style, this exact style, so it worked out. I bought these off of the Snap-on tool truck. They were, I would say they're about 25 or 30 bucks. I think they're made by Blue Point. So you'll need those. And then to do any AN lines, you'll need these. I got these universal AN wrenches, you know, just the adjustable ones. I just got 2 of them instead of buying AN wrench set. And we changed just a couple more things. Flip this radiator hose back around. Drilled a 5/16 hole into the fan shroud. Put the OEM clip back in. It's not pulled tight anywhere. I'm gonna just have to do some more research to see what kind of hose I'd like to put on, because this will work, but it's not up to standards, if that makes sense. So we'll just have to deal with it for now until I can find a hose that fits correctly. Everything all done. Got our X-Link in. Fast fuel rails. We have our 85 harness made. This port goes, I recycled the purge valve line and cut it, bend it, put a 90-degree rubber T on it. That goes into the catch can, and then from the catch can over to the PCV. Everything fits beautifully. It runs really good, guys. That's really all there is to it. Filled it with coolant. Water pump spacers are not leaking. So, yeah. LS1 water pump from a 99 to 02 Firebird Camaro. ICT billet. Idler relocation bracket. And we added 1 washer to pull this pulley out just a hair, because I didn't like how it was riding on the edge there. So it is a little bit more centered. Running an exactly 100-inch belt. So no questions asked. This runs a 100-inch belt. It's got good tension on it. This is just temporary. I've got my new S&B filters, air box and air tube coming actually tomorrow, hopefully. So it runs great, guys. I will add a clip. But yeah, that's all there is to this. So it's not intimidating at all. I would definitely put this intake in your truck. But then again, it's all based on needs. I wouldn't just slam this in a stock truck. This truck is a 6-liter bore 30 over big cam, high compression, 11-to-1, and it's got some Powell machine CNC ported cathedral port heads with really nice valves. Everything is beautiful. So